triangles. And again, the hardest part on this is when y'all have these problems on the SAT, some years are on the SAT, some years are not. But they won't give you these formulas. You got to know it. All right, so we're going to start on number 1. Now let's start on number 4. Number 4 is the easiest one on the page. So why don't we start there and do it first? Okay? All right, so Samari, you look at your formula right here that I got you. You got a 30, a 60, and a 90, right? Right. Guys, we've got to find the 30-degree side first. That's the 30-degree angle. Across from it's the 30-degree side. All right, and when they give you that number first, it's a piece of cake. Y'all see on number 4, they give you that side first? All right, so how do we find the hypotenuse? What's your formula tell you got to do? Just times by 2, right? Double it. So 4 times 2 is 8. That's easy. All right, how do we find the 60-degree side right here? What's the formula tell you to do? Take that number, put it right there, so it'll be 4 root 3. So when they give you the 30-degree side first, it's really simple. Okay? All right, number 1 now. Let's go back up to number 1. Number 1, which side are they giving us first? I don't even have anything written down. Number 1, they got 14 right here. So which side are they giving us on number 1? They're giving us the hypotenuse. Does everybody see that? It's across from the 9-degree angle. All right, so now we've got to go backwards because you've got to find the 30-degree side first. Anybody got a suggestion?
I've got to.
Yeah. If you go from the 30 to the hypotenuse, you times by 2. So if we go backwards, you just divide by 2. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. That's easy. All right, now we got to find this side, the 60. What's the formula tell you? The formula says, hey, take that number, put it right there, and times it by root 3. So that's 7 root 3. So these 2 problems aren't bad. I think these are the easiest ones. 2 and 3 are going to be hard. All right, does anybody have a question on this? Now, we're going to work on this about 3 days, and we'll have a quiz over this like on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. But I will give you the formulas on the quiz. You don't have to memorize them. You just got to know how to use them. All right, next one. All right, 2 and 4. That's not right. That's number 3, right? Yeah, that's 3. My bad. All right, which side are they giving us first on number 2? They're giving us the 60-degree side because it's across from the 60-degree angle. That's the hardest one. All right, when they give you this side first, what it means is they have already multiplied by root 3. You got to go backwards. How do you go backwards? You just divide by root 3. So if I go from here to here, it says times by root 3. If I go backwards, I divide by root 3. So we're going to take 5 root 3. Messed my video up. So we've got to divide this by root 3. So look, guys, if you have 5 root 3 divided by root 3, what's going to happen? What's your answer? Now, where does it go? 30-degree side. You always find the 30 first. So we got to put 5 right there. So my answer on this side is 5. What's my answer on the hypotenuse? 10. Everybody understand that? Because the formula says it's times by 2. So take that, times by 2, you get 10.
Okay, so...
Question.
Where did you get root 3 from root 5 from to divide by?
Okay, so I looked at my formula. And my formula tells me that, look, they're giving you the 60-degree side, Laney. You agree with that? Mm-hmm. So on my formula, I looked on the 60-degree side to see what's there. And there's already a root 3 there. What that means is they have already multiplied by root 3. So if you got to go backwards, you got to divide by root 3. Okay. And we had to go backwards on that one. Same thing on this one. They are giving us the 60-degree side. The formula tells us they have already multiplied by root 3. We got to go backwards. We got to divide by root 3. Now, I can show y'all how to do it by hand, but what's the shortcut? The same thing we did a minute ago. What's 12 divided by 3? 4, and behind it put a root 3. That's going to be your answer. And as long as you got these older calculators, if you plug that in your calculator, it's going to give you this anyway. Do I need to explain the shortcut again?
Yankees were leaving us.
Is that number 3 instead of 4?
This is number 3, exactly. Already fixed it one time. Thank you. All right, let's go to 5. Again, guys, first time we've done this. Y'all said y'all didn't do this in Coach White's class last year. All right, we're going to do this for 3 days before you take a quiz on. All right, let's read number 5. It says, draw an equilateral triangle. So look, I drew a triangle where all the sides are equal. You guys do that. Make them equal best you can. Equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal. Hey, this is off the topic, but what's a triangle called when just the left and right side are equal? Y'all remember? Isosceles triangle. You got to know that for the SAT. All right, so we got an equilateral triangle. What's it say next on number 5? Find the measure of the altitude. You guys remember from your geometry days, the altitude goes right down the middle. Draw a line. All right, what's the sides of these triangles measure? 6. So watch. That's 6. That's 6. These two sides, we're going to split them, so it'll be 3 and 3. Y'all good? All right, so here's the trick. That's 90 degrees, right? That's 90 degrees. This side, to go from here to here, we're doubling it. We're timesing by 2, which means this side right here is a 3069. Okay, so now I can use my formulas. So I went from here to here, I doubled it. How do I find this side right here? What's the formula tell you? Right here. What's it tell you to do? Just times by root 3. So this line right here is 3 root 3. Anybody have a question on that on number 5? All right, let's go to 6. All right, number 6. I tried to draw what they have on your paper. Okay, it doesn't matter which side we do first, the left side or the right side, doesn't matter. Let's do the 45-45 first. So this is a combination of both formulas. The left side's 45-45-90. The right side's a 30-60-90. So we've got to use this formula to do the left side and use this formula to do the right side. Okay? All right, this side first. What do we know about that side and that side? We know they're equal because the formula says the legs are going to be equal, right? So I got to find the answers for these. Just find one of them, the other one's going to be the same thing. Normally what we do, we take this side, we go to the hypotenuse, and we times by root 2. But I got to go backwards on this one. So I don't times by root 2. I divide by root 2. What's 8 divided by root 2 if you use the shortcut? 4 root 2. Thank you, Pat. 4 root 2, 4 root 2. Now, if you guys remember, I showed y'all this Thursday. If you had to work this out by hand, you would go root 2 and root 2. You would get 8 root 2 on top over 2. And then you would divide 8 and 2, which is 4 root 2. So I'm showing you how to go just there to there by the shortcut. 8 divided by the bottom number is 4. Behind it, put a root 2. All right. Right triangle is a 30, 60, 90. Which side do we have? The 30, the 60, or the 90? We got the 30. That's the best side to have. We got this side right here, and that's the best side because this is your x. All right, how do we find the hypotenuse? If I go from here to here, what do? Times by 2. Well, hold on. Which one of these numbers can I times by 2? Only the 4. You can't times the root. So 4 times 2 is 8 root 2. All right, now, kids mess up on the quiz every year. They try to go from here to here. You always go back to the 30. Start back over. So go back to here. How do I go from here to here? It says times by root 3. Which one of these numbers can I times by root 3? Since it's a root, you can only times the root by root 3. So look, it'll be 4 root 2 times root 3. You can't put it in your calculator. You couldn't put it in the graphic calculators. You put it in these. 2 times 3 is root 6.
What's that, AC on there?
73. Just right. Perfect. Just perfect in here. Y'all might need to bring some sweaters.
I got one on.
All right, everybody look at your unit circle. We're going to add a couple things to it. All right? You guys can see where I've already added 2 pi and 360. Y'all see it right there? I wrote it in there last year. It showed up. Say it again. Come on, Ron. All right, so I want y'all to look at your unit circle. Where is 1 pi located at? 1 pi. Find 1 pi. It's right here. If you need to write a 1 in front of that, you can, but that's 1 pi. All right, so look. Halfway around is 1 pi. Another half, 2 pi. Where would 3 pi be? Back to here. Where would 4 pi be? 4. 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi. What do y'all notice?
It's the rotation.
All right, let's do it again. All right, Luke, this is 0. So that's 0 pi. You go around 1 time, it says 1 pi is right there. You go around halfway again, Luke, it says 2 pi. So if you keep going, that would be 3 pi. That would be 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, and it goes around forever. So what if I asked you guys to find, where would 761 pi be? Left side or right side?
Right side.
It would be, ends in an odd number, right? Ends in 1 pi, so it'd be on the left. Anything that ends in an odd number is on the left. You can write odd on that side if you want to. Anything that ends in an even number would be on the right. All right, so which side would 1,000 pi be on? Right or left? Right.
Right.
So y'all understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You got the last digit and tell you where to go.
There you go. All right, so now we can do some of the problems. Degree measure. All right, so they want to know, well, that's not the right one, I'm sorry. 18 degrees. All right, first of all, is 18 degrees on your circle? Look on your circle, see if it's not. If it's not on your circle, then you have to multiply. You have to multiply by pi over 180 in your calculator. So everybody take your calculator, Ashley. Times 18 times pi over 180. Where's the pi button at? I don't know. Left side somewhere?
Yes, on left side.
Left side, left column. All right, James, times that in. Tell me what you get. Pi over 10. All right, so y'all were asking why are we using the old calculators? Because the new ones give you that number in a decimal, and I want it as a fraction. So I'm going to have to figure out how to program that calculator to make it give you that. All right, any questions?
Whoa, where'd you get 180 from?
All right, so something I want y'all to write down at the top of your circle, Laney. I'm going to show you right now. I want everybody to write this down. So that way you won't forget it on the test. And if you do forget it, you can look on your sheet. Samari, if you want to find a radian number, times it by pi over 180. I want you to write that down at the top of your page right now. Everybody write it down. Show her, Ashley. She's not.
No, I'm
She's
good.
not
I'm
listening.
trying to look for my pi. You gotta let me find stuff on my calculator first.
We passed that. I want y'all to write this down on your formula sheet, on your unit circle, so when you forget it on the test, and kids forget it every year, you'll know what to do.
So if we take a test, we'll be using this.
Okay, good question. You know, guys, I used to give the kids a blank copy of this and make them fill it in. You had to memorize it all. We don't do that anymore. Now I give you this, and you can use it every day on the test, on the quiz, everything.
Thank you. You're a blessing.
There was another thing like this in Algebra 2 that Miss Carter did, and we had to memorize it, but I don't remember what numbers were on.
Might have been that.
It was.
It was.
Okay, I don't make my kids memorize it anymore. All right, so let's go to 60 degrees on the unit circle loop, and we should just be able to look at the circle to find our answer on this one. Let's check it. 60 degrees. Answer's pi over 3 right there. So if it's on the circle, you don't have to times it by anything. All right, let's keep going. 180 degrees.
You just write pi over 3?
Yes, ma'am. You just write pi over 3 for that one. Here's 180 degrees. What's your pi? 1 pi or just pi? All right, 30 degrees. What's your pi? Pi over 6. Man, this is easy. Told y'all it was easy. All right, negative 90 degrees. I need to show you something. You've got to learn how to do this on your circle. Where is positive 90 degrees at? Find it.
At the top.
Right there on the right.
1, 2, 3, 4 dots going forward. Do you agree? So where would negative 90 be?
4 dots.
4 points down.
4 dots going backwards. Go back to 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your pi? Whoops. 3 pi over 2.
3 pi over 2.
So if it gives you a negative number, you can still do it. You just got to go backwards. Do I need to show that again? Y'all good? Great. All right. Right column. A little different on the right column. Negative 250 degrees is not up here. So what do I have to times it by? Times it by pi over 180. Y'all have to put it in your calculator. James will give me an answer. And it should reduce it for you. All right, so the answer is negative 25. Whoops. Negative 25 pi over 18. All right, guys, y'all gonna do the same thing on number 4. Put it in your calculator, times it by pi over 180. Give me an answer. Go. Number 11, change to degree measure. All right, a couple different ways y'all could do number 11. Let's just use a circle. Number 11, they want us to find 4 pi, but now it's already a radian. And how do I know a number's a radian by looking at it?
It's got pi.
It's got a pi. So now it's a radian, and they want us to make it a degree. So where's 4 pi at on your circle? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your answer? 0. All right, good. You guys know the odd and even thing we did a minute ago. 4 is an even number, so it's going to be right here. Look at number 13, negative 9 pi. Is that odd or even? Doesn't matter that it's a negative. It's an odd number, so it's going to be over here. Your number is 180 degrees. Remember, odd and even's all you got to worry about if it's just an integer with a pi. All right, 15, what's your answer? 2 pi. 0 degrees. 17, what's your answer? Negative 3 pi. 180 degrees. All right, we're good. Now, 19, 13 pi over 5. 13 pi over 5. All right, you guys know how a minute ago we multiplied by pi over 180, right? Because we wanted to change the degree into a radian. Well, now you do the opposite. Because now you got a pi and you want to get rid of it and make it a degree. So let's flip it. Instead of pi over 180, now we times by 180 over pi. If it was me, I would write that on the circle too. I would write degree number times by 180 over pi. But if you know it, you don't have to write it. I don't care what you write on there. All right, so let's do another one. Right column, we got 5 pi over 2. This is number 12. 5 pi over 2. What do I times it by again? 180 over pi. So 5 over 2 times 180. 450 degrees will be your answer. Now remember, if it's on the circle, you can just look at your answer on the circle. Next one, negative 5 pi over 4. 13, negative 5 pi over 4. I don't believe that was on the circle. We could find it, but let's just type it in the calculator. Let's times it by 180 over pi. What'd y'all get? Negative 225 degrees is what I got. All right, so 16, I believe that one's on the circle. 11 pi over 6 is right here. What's my degree answer? 330. So if it's on your circle, just look at the number and copy it off the circle and write it for your answer.
So even if we work it out, it will still be.
Oh yeah, you can work it out. It's still going to be 330. It's just faster if it's on the circle. Hey, let's do negative 3 pi over 4. I want to show you another shortcut. Everybody watching? Where would negative 3 pi over 4 be up here? Well, where is positive 3 pi over 4? Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots going forward. Where would negative 3 pi over 4 be? Go back to 0, 4, 5, 6 dots going backwards. Your answer should be 225. Now that's going to be the same answer. Actually, you would get a negative number doing it the other way, but they equal out anyway. I would accept either answer. So if you can count backwards on the circle, that's fine. You can do that. All right, what's 20? Pi over 4, that should be up here. Pi over 4, 45 degrees. So y'all did all this stuff in Miss Carter's class last year, Luke, with the circle.
Wait, so 18 will be 225 or negative 135?
Those answers are actually the same thing. I would take you. And I'll explain in a minute why. 225 is one answer, and the other answer was negative 135. Negative 135 is the other answer. And I'll show you in a minute why they're the same. All right, flip it over. Guys, we're going to have like 20 minutes left over today. Don't get used to it. All right, so next section. Read the instructions above, number 1. Find the least positive coterminal angle. What does that mean? Let's get to that. I don't have another sheet. No, I don't. I'll just use this right here. All right, so find the least positive coterminal angle. What does that mean? We want the lowest number, and it's got to be a positive number. What do we have for number 1? Negative 74. How do you fix it and make it a positive? Easy. How far is it if I start at 0 and go all the way around one time? 360 degrees, right? So if you have a negative number, Samari, just add 360 degrees with it, and that will make it a positive, and they're equal.
Now give me the answer, right?
Yep. So negative 74 plus 360 is 286 degrees is our answer. That's all you got to do if it's a negative. Add 360 to it. All right, and that makes a negative number into a positive number. All right, now look at number 3. What if you have a really big positive number, 920 degrees? They want you to make it the lowest positive number it could be, Hunter, and the angle will still be equal. So instead of adding 360, we're going to subtract 360. So take 920 minus 360. What you got? All right, if it's bigger than 360, you got to subtract it again. Minus 360 again. 200 degrees will be our answer for number 3. All right, so did I explain that okay? If it's bigger than 360, you got to keep subtracting. All right, number 5, let's type in 1100 minus 360. Big number, minus 360. Do it again. What'd y'all get for a final answer? 20 degrees. All right, number 7 is negative 590. What do I do on this one? I add 360. And then I'm going to have to add it again because it's still a negative. James, what you got? 130 degrees. And then 9, yeah, you can do that. All right, anybody got a question on the left column before we do the right column? All right, right column says 43 pi over 5. 43 pi over 5. First, what's wrong with that number? It's a pi. Let's make it a regular degree number. How do we do that? We just learned it. We times by 180 over pi on our calculator. Let's do that first and make it just a degree number. All right, so 43 over 5 times 180. Wow, I got 1548. Check me on that. So now start subtracting 360. And you're going to have to do it several times. And what's y'all's answer? I'll wait and let y'all get there. 108 degrees is where I ended up. That was the smallest number I could get where it would still be a positive number. All right, so y'all should have it. Finish that right column now. 4, 6, 8, finish those. And I'll help you on the last section. All right, now normally these first 3, so now we are finding, it says, a reference angle. So Number 11 is negative 60 degrees. All right, so I need y'all to find where is negative 60 degrees at on the circle. Let's do that first. How do I find negative 60? Well, look, there's positive 60 right there. Up 3 points. So where's negative 60 going to be? Backwards 3 points. Right there's where we are. Now, that's not your answer. That's just where you are on the circle. Y'all follow me? All right, how do we find a reference angle? A reference angle just means how far away is that from the nearest x-axis? So which side is closer, the 180 or the 360? So subtract them, answer 60 degrees. That's all you do for a reference angle. Let's do another one.